Hello and welcome to The Subtle Way. So, my name is Anna. If you're new to this channel, this is all about where I share subtle energy healing and subtle energy yoga tips and tools and exercises and practices and information as integrating sort of my energy medicine practice with my yoga practice, which I've both been studying concurrently for about 15 years. And so now I'm beginning to share a little bit more of an integration of subtle energy healing or energy medicine techniques with yoga into what is becoming the subtle energy yoga classes, which will be launching soon online. You can find them live at Raw Yoga in Milford in Auckland. But otherwise, for those not in that area, they will be online shortly. So in this practice today, a little exercise and tip I wanted to share with you is what I did when I got a little bit bedridden with the flu last week. So I was out for a few days, a couple of days, pretty much totally laid out in bed. And um, going through that experiences, I'm reminded of all the little aches and pains that occur in our body, which on one side is a good thing. It lets us know our immune system is working, the defenses are operating, the white cells are doing their thing. But as the body gets into fighting and attacking the foreign invaders, inflammation occurs, and this creates that discomfort throughout our body. So it's a little bit of that different from the aches or pains from a lot of heavy exercise or back pain or something like that. Although this exercise can be helpful for back pain as well. But I am actually going to share with you my basically 5-minute yoga practice I did when I was feeling very ill to help shift that discomfort I was feeling in my body. So it's a very simple practice. And if you'd like to do it with me, you can be seated in a chair for the first little part. We're just going to open the space. And then for the second part, you will need to be on the floor as we're going to just move into some gentle tabletop to child's pose. So I'm still a little bit phlegmy and blocked up in my nasal system, which you might hear in my voice, and a little bit coffee as well. And I'm not 100% brain clear, even though from up most of my body up to here feels fine. It's just this little part and a little bit of the straight thinking is not 100% there. So I appreciate you joining me for this little practice. So just make yourself comfortable seated on the floor. I like to use a cushion behind me or seated on a chair. If you can't sit on the floor and be able to hold your torso up erect, always just grab more cushions and make yourself comfortable so that you can hold your spine upright with ease. It is not beneficial to sit on the floor cross-legged and you're curled over because you're uncomfortable because you can't support your spine. Just stack as many cushions up as you need or sit on the chair. There's so many times in yoga classes I'll see students and they're sort of crouched over and I try and get them to lift up the hips and they just won't do it because I guess maybe they feel embarrassed. But if you're at home in your own space, just do what you need to make yourself comfortable. So the first little thing I want to do, especially if you're unwell, is we often get ungrounded. Our polarities can get a little bit flipped over. Our feet is our south end, our head is our north end. So just by bringing the foot out, just flipping the hand back and forth a few times on the base of the foot, and then on the other side, just doing the same thing. Our whole body is electromagnetic. Our electromagnetic response to the electromagnetism in our hands. You can just do the same thing on the top of the head as well. And that can just help and do a little grounding of your field and getting you repolarized. When you're not feeling well, you're not going to go out for a walk on wet grass or in the sand or barefooted somewhere. You just need to rest. Then just bring your awareness into your breath. So just settling into your body, into the present moment. And I do understand sometimes the breath can be a little bit strained if it's congested. But just doing your best. When we bring our awareness into our breath, it brings us into the present moment. distracts us from thinking about the million other little things in our lives that we could think about, and just gets us to this here and now. And as you're aware of your breath, when you're ready, just spreading your awareness to encompass your whole body. If you're really up in your head, like really stuffed up in your head, you might want to just come straight down into the heart center straight away, or even feeling your feet or your hands or just any part of your body or the whole body. Sometimes we can get overwhelmed by the head stuff if we stay up in that space too much. And then wherever you are now, just bringing that awareness into that heart center, breathing in and out of the chest. So our heart center is sort of the center of our being. It is also the part that sort of unites the aspects of us symbolically connected to the physical, the material world. So that the chakra system symbolically below the waist, and then the chakras that are above the waist connecting to our spiritual life and world. The heart, the center of love, unites these two. And as you breathe into the center of your chest, going right down into its depths, connecting with your own spiritual essence, your own true nature, that which connects you to all of life, to the Great Spirit, the mineral, the plant, animal, the human, the God kingdoms, the interconnection of all life, through which we're all connected through Spirit. And then move the awareness to extend above and below the heart chakra. So coming to about a foot above the head, half a foot to a foot above the head, to the base of the spine or the perineum. So becoming aware of our central channel that runs down the center of our being. So this light of energy that flows through the center of us. And there's also pathways that split the base of the neck, go down across the shoulders, out the arms, across at the hips and out of the feet. So we're going to be working with this channel. And continuing to be aware of the central channel as you move yourself over to come into a tabletop position on the floor. So just bring wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, just the back, one nice straight line in the spine. And just be aware as energy flows down through from the heavens. You may like to work with a color or you may not. Use your own sort of intuitive guidance of what feels good for you. And imagine a flow of energy. It's not just cascading down the center, it's also sort of cascading down sort of the back of the head, down through the whole back as well. Through the back of the body, you may feel it coming down through the front as well. If you don't really feel energies, just use your imagination. Where the mind goes, energy follows. This really is the nature of energy. And as you get used to working with these things, you will notice over time, the more you do it, the more these will become more and more tangible. And these are subtle. There's a reason they're called subtle energies. So don't have high expectations for very strong physiological sensations. They're very soft, they're very gentle, and slowly you'll begin to identify them more and more clearly. So we're going to work a little bit differently to what you'll be used to. So as you inhale, just imagine that beautiful energy flowing down through the central channel, flowing down over the back of the head, the neck, all the way back. As you inhale, coming down into the base of your spine. And then as you exhale, lifting back up, energy dissipates down and out the legs and out the feet, comes out back through the top of the head or out in any direction Inhale, pulling that energy down to gather at the base of the spine. Exhale, being released in every direction. Inhale, pulling that energy down to the base of the spine. Exhale, releasing in every direction, down and out the feet, down out the arms, out the top of the head. Inhale, drawing down to the base of the spine. Can feel like a big wave of energy flowing down your back into the base. Exhale, releasing out in whichever directions feel right for you. One more time, inhaling down into the base of the spine. And exhale, coming back up. And then this time as you inhale, drawing to the base of the spine, exhale and release the right leg back, giving a stretch out and letting that energy release out that leg. Inhale, bring the knee back down, energy gathering down through to the base of the spine. Exhale out the left leg. Inhale, pulling the energy down through the top of the head, the base of the spine, out the right leg. You might want to just stay here for a few breaths, inhaling that energy down through the body, out that leg. On an inhale, bringing the knee back down. On the exhale, out the left side. Staying here for a couple of breaths, inhaling, pulling that energy down and out. On an exhale, bringing that knee back, gathering the energy to the base of the spine. And then inhale, coming back down into a last child pose, and then staying here. And then you can stack your hands one on top of the other, palms facing up. We can rest the palms in the forehead. There's neurovascular points, so this can help relieve stress from the system by resting the hands and the head. And then you can just stay here for as long as feels comfortable for you. And when you're ready, you can get up in your own time. So you're welcome. You can keep experimenting and moving back through those places as that works for you as well. Taking the amount of time you need to with this. So when we work with these subtle energies, like for me, I did this for about 5 minutes and it just got rid of all the pain and discomfort I was feeling in my body. And it was really made the rest of the experience. Even though it didn't necessarily shift all the symptoms they would have liked to have, at least it got rid of the pain. And so subtle energies really work by creating space. When we're sick, when there's pain, there's stagnation of energy, everything contracts, it gets tight, it sort of closes, especially our field gets tighter and smaller. So when we do this practice, as well as sort of moving and shifting and flowing, all of that little energy that's gone in a little bit stuck and still, we're shifting it out quite simply through the whole body. Using a little bit of physical movement with it as well can really help ease a little bit of tension as well. And that little practice of moving back and forth between child's pose and tabletop is very nurturing to the lower back. So we can work with that practice to sort of enhance the effects of the visualization and using the breath to move the energy to help get everything shifting out. So yeah, it can really help if you've got lower back pain or issues like that as well, to help bring a bit of movement through the body. And especially when we're working with something that's pain and inflammation, from disease and discomfort, it's not actually in the joints or in the muscles on a sort of from some sort of strenuous activity. It's there because of the immune response. It can respond very quickly to the subtle energies as well, because it's different processes is creating it, which can also help it move out more quickly. So I'd love to hear your experiences with this practice. If you have any questions or anything that comes up, or anything that sort of that felt a bit weird or a bit funny, or some aspect didn't work for you, I'd love to hear your feedback and see what I can suggest that could help support shifting whatever is needed there, or finding out what could work for you, or other suggestions or practices that might be a bit easier or can create other ideas for more videos. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and if you'd like more information on the upcoming solar energy yoga classes, please feel free to head to my website. All right, many blessings. Have a beautiful day.